Your other challenge is the fact that so far most of your content, your themes, it's a very crowded market.
Yeah.
Matters of the heart and relationships and.
Well, so actually, I tweeted yesterday. So I'm going through like a breakup, and I've now got this like whole like album worth of songs. I was like, I could just release an album of all these like heartbreak songs.
I've written it down. Sad bangers.
Sad bangers. that's what
I forgot to hashtag it. That's what when we do the post for this. Sad bangers is the hashtag.
Because people ask me.
That's your next album. Sad bangers.
Yes, I'm gonna write that down. Because when people ask me like, oh, what's your like genre of music, and I don't like saying like singer-songwriter because it's hard.
It's vague.
It's vague. I could just say I write sad bangers.
Yeah. Yeah. Not many people have heard of that. Go,
different.
Interesting.
Yeah, they are. I mean, some of them are kind of disguised as upbeat songs. They're still sad.
Yeah,
They're still pretty.
It's the overall
depressing.
feel of them, isn't it? Did you see the girl who replied to you?
No, what did she? Which one?
I've written it down.
No,
whoever, Lucy May Walker.
Yeah, my friend Lucy.
She put, mate, sometimes I consider falling in love with a dickwad again, just so it all comes crashing down for me to write an absolute heartbreak banger EP.
And I think, no, I remember that, and I replied saying, you have to sacrifice your heart for your art.
That's true.
It's very
that made
true.
me laugh, that did.
It is true, though. You have to write songs about just anything that makes you feel.
But also, with you being quite young, I think you've got less to draw from in life. That's one argument.
Yeah, I've had that before, but I've also had a lot of people say, like, you're very mature for your age. And, you know, I always write from my own experience.
Well, that's the best way to do it. You can't argue with something that's from yourself.
So when people are like, you don't know anything about being heartbroken, and I'm like, listen. Yes,
20. By the age of 20, you should.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the I Hate Men songs. They've got to be coming at some point.
Yeah, there's going to be
in the 20s.
There's going to be a few. But yeah, so I always write from my own experience, and even if it's just something small, I can make it really dramatic. Like, I can work with that. Yeah. But yeah, so this past week I've been writing so many breakup songs, and they're really good. Like, part of me is quite like grateful for them.
Yeah,
this album is
it's an age-old thing. It happens all the time. Like, some of the biggest songs, people go, "Where did that song come from?" Oh, just some dickhead there.
Yeah, literally. But
well, it's like Fleetwood Mac.
Well, yeah.
Most of their songs are the two writing songs about each other.
Exactly.
But ended up being the best songs they've ever written.
And you can't get in a relationship with a songwriter without knowing that you're going to have multiple songs written about you.
And I also think when you see two people who are in a band get together, it's like, oh no. What happens when that goes wrong? What happens?
Think about the songs.
Yeah, but if they break up, but the band's still together, it's like, oh.
Yeah. No.
That's probably why you're better just being you on your own.
Yeah, and
mind you, if you're all women, then
I just won't date any musicians or that.
Yeah,
just no.
Don't work with them if you do.
No. Yeah, definitely not.
But I don't know. So, have you tried writing anything else other than like about, I don't know?
The thing is,
the world.
I try and write happy songs, and that doesn't work.
I'm just too miserable.
The thing is, I wouldn't say I was a miserable person. No. Like,
it certainly
it's
doesn't
not like
come across so far.
I don't mope around all the time. I'm just really.
Do you not think sometimes it's just do you write lyrics to music? Like, you write the music first, then you add lyrics to it, or do you sometimes just write words?
I always do it at the same time. So.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, so I sit down at the piano usually, and I come up with some chords that like feel quite like whatever I'm feeling. I try and like put what I'm feeling into chords, and it usually comes like quite naturally. So like loads of minor chords and like minor seventh chords and stuff. And then I'll start coming up with a melody or a line, or I might have one line and like make it fit. But I always write the lyrics and the melody and the music all together. I don't know how else I would do it.
Well, see, this is the thing. I've talked to many different, and I do it differently. Everyone does it different.
How would you go about it?
Mine was always just like the music. I was always putting words to music that was already written. Occasionally, I'd have like a sentence or the odd word, because if I hear something, Well, that sounds cool. I'll make a note of it. I have a long list of I've got potential song titles, potential album titles.
Yeah.
And with rock music, it's kind of I look at the list of words versus the music, and I goes, what does this music? What word jumps out at me? Because I've got to give it a title. I have to give it a title, otherwise,
Really?
I have to give it. Once I've got the music,
Wow.
I have to give it a title because I get lost. If I need something, I need a theme.
A theme to base it around.
I tried it at first, just not doing that, and I was just like, then I start yeah, but that doesn't go with that. That doesn't make any sense. So if I give it a title,
so
it keeps me on the right track.
The title is the last thing I come up with.
There you go. There you go.
So the way I write songs, I say this to people and they're like, what? I kind of feel like I write them subconsciously, and so I'll just start writing stuff and words will be coming out my mouth, and I'm just singing, and then half I've got a verse maybe and a bit of a chorus, and I suddenly realize what I'm actually writing about, or I'm writing about how I've been feeling, or an experience I've had, and I suddenly pinpoint what it actually is, and then I can finish the song and maybe change bits, and then I stick a title on it that makes sense.
So the only thing I do at the end is usually the title of the album or the EP.
Yeah.
Try and give it a title of what ties it all together. What's the thread that?
So if you were naming an album, would you give it a separate name, or would you choose one of the songs?
I've done both.
Because
I
never know.
Depends really. Some people I don't think you should decide either one way or the other. I think sometimes
it should just happen after.
Sometimes a song title or the lyrics of that song are the theme of the they tie in with all the other songs.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to call the album that song. But other times something completely different ties all the songs together, but it's not one of the songs.
Yeah, that kind of. So when I released my EP last year, Dreamer, the last song on the thing is this song called Dreamer wasn't even going to be on the EP. It just was a song that I played to my producer, and he was like, why is that not on the EP? That's literally about
idiot.
He was like, this is literally a song that ties all of the other songs together.
Yeah.
It summarizes your whole bloody life, and this needs to be on. And then the whole EP was called Dreamer because it literally describes me as a person.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer. But this next EP, I was like, I want it to have a cool title, a cool name that ties in all the songs. Maybe
and describes you.
I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna be called Sad Bangers.
Brilliant.
It can't be called anything else now.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Really.
You've coined that.
I mean, it's pretty accurate, to be fair.
They're sad, but they're awesome.
Exactly, tagline. Yeah. Be
Yeah.
that's what this is going to be called.
Do you want to play a song?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Well, could do one at the end as well. Do you want to do 365?
Yeah, if you'd
That's
like to hear that one.
According to Spotify, that's your biggest song.
It's
so
my biggest song, but it's
do you enjoy playing it?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't not enjoy playing it, but it's my oldest song. So I wrote this when I was 16.
Well, we'll do contrast. That's old. We'll do something much newer
That's a good idea.
at the end.
Because I actually do whenever I play a gig, I open with this song.
Are you open with it?
I always open with it. I think it's because I'm most comfortable with it. I've been playing it for years, and I've always opened with it. But I feel I think the reason I don't like playing it anymore is because I feel a bit more disconnected from it, because I wrote it when I was 16.
Well, that's the other thing you've got to deal with.
And I'm I can't remember what this was about.
Pull that mic the top mic a bit closer
This
to you.
one.
Yeah.
So I wrote it when I was 16, and some of the lyrics are about driving around. I was I couldn't even drive when I was 16.
Yeah, just because you can't relate to it doesn't mean other people can't though.
So I think, and people do like this song. But yeah, I think it's just because it's so. Because do you get if you've been playing a song for years, do you get
sometimes? Yeah, because we had quite a lot of songs, so we could should we just drop this one? But you can't not play it.
No, I have to, because it's the one everyone knows, and yeah, I don't know, it's not a bad song.
So this is 365 and it's off.
365 and it's off a short EP. It was 3-track EP called Strangers, and I literally released it when I was a little baby.
Go for it.
So let's go. We drove for days on end. We watched the sun set and rise 365 times, again and again and again. And we told silly jokes that made much more sense in our heads, but we laughed anyway, again and again and again. And I fell for you the way you fell for life that night, and so did I. We chased shooting stars and made wishes every time that we would stay alive just for another day, and maybe even travel to outer space. I didn't know if this would last or if it was just all a show. Take your bow when you got bored and leave the stage. Leave me all alone. But I didn't mind. I was in love with you and your beautiful mind. And I fell for you the way you fell for life that night, and so did I. We drove for days on end. We watched the sun set and rise 365 times, again and again and again.
Nice. Thank you very much. We won't clap because it sounds really
It's a
like.
really-
Was it? I was going to clap quietly.
It'll be like
Like a golfer's clap.
No, yeah, it'll be like one of those really unimpressed ones, like.
No, it's like, it would be like one of those gigs where like you're playing in a pub and there's like two people listening to you, and I
Yeah.
actually would just like, I'd rather people just didn't clap at all rather than one person being like,
Just like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's more awkward, and it's usually like my friend that's in the audience like going, well done.
No, I like that song.
So,
Really good.
yeah, thank you.
But you saying you've lost the connection to that song?
Yeah, I think just because
That's
I
just
wrote
age,
it,
isn't it?
I wrote it so young, and I really like. I don't know why I was writing about driving around when I was 16. And
Well, because you've got nothing else to do.
literally.
I think that makes sense.
So yeah, it's just
Well, like, what will yourself in 10 years think about what you're writing now? Or you in the
true,
30s?
True.
You'd be like, stupid girl.
Knew nothing.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's the cycle of life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's natural to like love playing your like newest songs, and like they always sound like so like fresh and like amazing. So whenever I write a new song and I'm like
Just push that
gigging.
mic out of the way.
Is that good?
Be fine.
So yeah, when I'm gigging, I've got like a brand new song. I love playing it,
Mm.
and then like a year later, I'll be like, "That is a terrible song. Why am I so?"
Yeah,
It's
but
not a
other
good
people,
song.
like your fans, get attached to songs though. So
Yeah, and it's like
offended if you don't play it.
oh my god. So I've got, because obviously I used to do like the whole YouTube thing, and I had this. Well, I had quite a few songs that I wrote and I put on there, but they were like so like childish, and like I was like 14, 15, like writing these songs, and like people get like really angry, like sending me messages like, where did this song go, like this was my favorite song, and I'm like, I'm trying to be like, you know, like a mature like professional musician. I've got a song called Circles about like flying rabbits and stuff. Like
That just sounds like something you wrote when you were stoned.
it could be.
Yeah. They'll be like mad bangers.
Sad bangers, mad bangers. What's next? So yeah, I've got like all these old songs and my friends always like, if I'm gigging, they're like scream like play circles, and I'm like. Me. And I had to like play some songs and speak live. That was quite scary.
That if you want to do what you want to do, that's part of your job.
Exactly.
So
just got to get used to it.
It's like I said, you don't have your voice doesn't annoy me.
Good.
In fact, I don't think we've had any guests on here where their voice has been an issue. A lot of people have had issues with their own voice, and I was like, you sound fine, and everyone's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like
it's just
I definitely did have that. Like when I was a lot younger, when I first started, you're bit more self-conscious though, I think.
Yeah.
So that's just a general thing, which
yeah,
gets better as you get older.
Definitely.
And the more you do it.
Maybe I should start my own podcast.
Why not?
Go into competition.
Well, I mean, if you were going to do one-on-one, all you need is a little audio recording.
Yeah.
You could, when you go do your gigs, you could talk to other musicians, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you listen to podcasts?
I love podcasts, and I listen to the mainly music ones.
Yeah.
So there's one that I like called "And the Writer Is," and they just talk to songwriters and talk about their experience thus far. And
sounds good.
And then there's another one that I've been listening to called Song Exploder.
Yeah, I know that one.
And
that's one of the most popular ones in the world. That one.
And then Tape Notes as well, which was exactly the same.
I haven't really listened to it, but is that the one where they break down songs?
They break down the songs and they literally they show you the separate elements, like isolated, so the isolated vocals.
Yeah. See, because that started off as just some people just messing about as like a hobby type thing, and
it's amazing and it's so interesting. They like do the isolated like drums and like how the song came about, and it's really inspiring and like gives you.
I'm like a podcast addict. In fact, the app that I use is called Podcast Addict. So, but I'm subscribed to so many that I can't listen to them all. I am subscribed to Song Exploder, but it's just so many every day. It's like there's 42 new episodes. Like, I know my top 5 favorite, and someone like Joe Rogan's is like 3 hours. So I'm like, well, I've got to listen to that. So that's most of my day gone.
No, I do really like podcasts, but they are like mainly music based.
Yeah. But I think the beauty for me, what I like about podcasts is the one that do conversation like this, because you don't really get that anywhere else.
No.
Like I imagine most of the interviews that you do, you get asked the same questions.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty boring, especially if you've lined up quite a few. It gets pretty boring.
Yeah, and I always get like quite nervous for like radio interviews and stuff, because I feel like I'm being like quizzed about myself, and like I'm like, what if I don't know the answers? What if I'm
where
not
do I
sure?
live? Where am I from?
Like,
Where am I from?
Like I get really like worked up about it. And but like this feels like really like natural and like comfortable, and it's just like a conversation.
Yeah. That's the aim of it,
which is a lot nicer.
But I always say, for me, let's get to the point where most of our episodes now are 3 hours long, but you don't notice. And there's this like threshold of like once you get past 20 minutes, that's when it starts getting better. You know what I mean? Because people are used
like
to
the nitty gritty.
Well, people are used to 20 minutes ish. Like that might be the most they've ever done. They're not used to going past that. So I've kind of got good at reading the conversation. It just naturally happens. It's just 20 minutes. People start relaxing. And they just sort of
finish the tea. They're like chilled out.
Or whiskey. Some people have brought all assortment of stuff, haven't they?
I wasn't offered whiskey when I came in.
No, they bring their own.
Oh God, didn't think so.
BYOB.
Some people, nervous people,
it's like do a shot of tequila.
Some of them, you feel like there's a couple where like you see the bottle as the episode's going down, the bottle's like going.
Somebody brought us in prosecco, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Christmas time.
Yeah, and a little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That would actually be quite fun, doing a podcast while that must be a thing, like where people drink while podcasting.
Drunk cast. Yeah.
And then it like slowly the conversation just gets like
we have got to do that at some point.
Weirder.
Yeah.
Just get drunk.
I will volunteer for that.
I'm sure all our guests will be like, we'll come back and do that.
The biggest podcast ever, like 6 microphones.
We're definitely going to do that.
It'll just be like hubbub, loud. Like, give me the microphone, I've got something to say.
Yeah, to be fair though, the more people you have, and if they're drunk, everyone just talks over everyone, and it just becomes a mess. Which is why we try and keep it to. I mean, we could have 5 guests at once. Us 2 plus 5 guests. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot.
Quite a lot, though.
How many have we got on there? How many?
That's quite a lot when you've got everyone trying to say.
Yeah. So I was watching an actors, I don't know what it's called, YouTube channel where they get famous actors all around a table to just talk, and I've noticed that they're the most respectful people ever. No one talks over anybody.
Yeah.
People just sit there, like Morgan Freeman or whoever it might be, Brad Pitt, whatever. Just
Oh.
sit there, wait till someone finishes telling their
That's
story,
nice.
and then
Yeah.
there's like a silence, and then someone goes, "Oh, actually, I once time," you know, they just start their thing. It's like I was like,
That's
that
nice.
is the way to do it. A proper
Yeah.
professional, like they just know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Whereas some of the other ones, it's like
Everyone's screaming.
no one
and,
gets
like,
any point across
no.
because they're all. It's like occasionally in the morning I'll watch Good Morning Britain
Yeah.
with Piers Morgan.
Oh god,
Like-
that show stresses me out.
I'm on the fence. I don't hate him. Sometimes he annoys me, sometimes he doesn't. But whenever there's like two people, they always get two people opposite
Yeah.
opinions on whatever it is they're talking about. But they all end up. Nobody gets any point across
Yeah.
because you can't hear them. They're just like, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." Someone carries on talking, someone else starts talking. They finish their point, but then somebody else starts talking. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you said.
Yeah.
It happens almost every time I see it, whether it's about gender
Or
equality
vegan
or
sausage
Oh,
rolls.
it's vegan is the thing at the minute. Are you vegetarian or vegan?
I'm vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vegan seems to be the
It's
thing at the moment.
The thing that everyone's.
I mean,
discussing.
when Greg's went with a vegan sausage roll, I was like, wow, things are getting
Have
serious.
you tried it? I
No,
have
I
not
haven't.
tried it.
I would try it. I didn't understand what the fuss was about.
I
There's
mean,
obviously
I just-
there was a reason why they've spent all the money creating that because there's a market for it.
I just thought it was funny how offended people were getting about it. Like,
What is there to be offended about?
it's a sausage roll.
How dare you?
It's like,
like,
yeah, so.
You can
very
still buy your
strange.
meat sausage roll, so
Yeah, no one's
it
stopping
doesn't,
you.
it doesn't affect you. So why do you give a shit? I don't understand.
Very strange.
Have you tried one?
No.
I thought he was going to say goes against my religion. I can't. My meat religion.
I'd probably like it if I tried one.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
probably.
not in a hurry to do so.
I don't think I could actually choose one over a meat one if there was a meat one there. I don't think
I
I could
re-
put myself
I
to do
actually-
it. I'm going with all the attention. I'm going to have a vegan. I'm going to have a meat one.
The thing is, I've heard that they taste exactly the same.
Well, that would
And
be
I
impressive.
But I feel like I wouldn't like that because I don't actually like. I don't want to feel like I'm eating meat because I don't like the taste of it.
That's true.
So that wouldn't really.
Oh, that's interesting.
That wouldn't really.
What about corn? Oh, isn't there a
No,
whole
but
thing
the
about?
is, I like corn.
Isn't there a whole thing about
'Cause it's
trying to make it?
nicer.
All right.
Don't like meat, but I'll eat this meat substitute. It's exactly the same.
But nicer.
Is it nicer?
Yeah.
I've had it once.
Genuinely.
Long time ago.
Genuinely.
Interesting.
Like life changing.
Wow, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Interesting enough, though, whenever I've been into Greg's, which is fairly regularly,
Quite a lot.
the vegan sausage rolls are always sold out.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like they've never offered anything like that to vegans before.
Just
guess.
like, so there is a market for it. There's obviously people buying it. It's just like, I
Yeah.
don't see what the problem is.
They're probably sick of cheese and onion pasties because that's probably all else they could have had.
Yeah, it's true. But I find with most things that
No,
I
they
see,
couldn't. If they're vegan, they can't have cheese and onion pasties.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Just
And
onion
see,
pasties.
I forget myself sometimes.
it's pretty limiting, vegan. You can't,
There's not a
it's
lot
like-
really, is there?
like,
So they
it's
probably-
like
they
people who
probably
don't
could-
like, I don't like fun, so I'm not going to.
They probably couldn't have anything. They went in there and they got crisps.
No, I don't
I-
think crisps are even.
I bet they have to like read everything on every packaging of everything that's created ever. Is it? No, can't have that.
But you'd be surprised at how much like animal products is in everything.
Yeah.
And like even stuff like palm oil, which isn't an animal product, but it comes from like it's deforestation.
Yeah,
So
that's been reduced now,
they
isn't
chop down all the trees and they get this palm oil, and obviously it's like
Oh, that's
dehoming
true,
all
yeah.
the monkeys' houses.
Manufacturers
vegan.
manufacturers of various things now are taking that out of things.
Yeah,
They've been,
but
the
it's in
government is saying,
everything. It's in everything. So
Well, we've been eating horse meat for how many years and we didn't know. So
what do you-
do you remember that a few years ago?
No.
It came out, wasn't it? Wasn't it come out like the factories
Oh,
have been using
yeah.
horse meat without telling
Facts.
us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, not good.
Like,
Good.
what's next?
All the
what's gonna,
vegans
what's
were
going to
like,
come out next that we don't know? I
Oh
mean,
god.
we don't really know what's in most stuff.
You don't. You just
Like when you go to the supermarket, you have no connect. Like, well, I know you don't eat meat, but like if you go to buy like a steak, you have no connection
It
to
could be
that
anything.
animal.
Well, it could be anything though.
But people have these really strong views on like you don't want to cruelty to animals, but then they'll go to the supermarket and just buy a steak without
Yeah.
even thinking about it. There's like, there's
See,
no.
because cows are literally my favourite animal, so I do
I like a
can't.
cow.
They're so cute.
They can be scary though when they start running at you.
Yeah.
They can be. I was once playing golf with some friends, and the ball went into
Oh.
a field where some cows
Oh,
were.
no.
My friend just jumped over the fence, started looking for his ball, found two others, except didn't find his own ball. Had his back, and some cows were at the top, and
They
they
started
just
chasing
started
him.
coming towards down the field, but getting faster and faster. We weren't
dear.
looking actually, and one of my mates just went, "Ryan, get out the field!" And he's like scrambling to get all these cows just come flying down. I was
Oh
like,
my
"Oh my
God.
god!"
So yeah, this is Modern World. I'm not decided if it's gonna go on the EP album.
Right.
Give me your opinions.
Will do.
Okay. Got a bad sense of direction. I'm never sure where I'm meant to go. You told me that I need to change that I really ought to know. I've been trying to live in the moment and not get so caught up in things. It's kinda hard when people say that I need to stop playing the game. Tell me where to go, 'cause I don't wanna know, and that's fine by me. I don't need you to tell me what I should do. Tell me what you would do if you were me. 'Cause this modern world is killing me. This modern world is killing me. I guess I've got a lot to learn still, but I've got plenty of time. I'm in no rush to love somebody. I'm still trying to learn to love mine. And in a world that is so connected, I've never felt more shut out. I've been trying to sing my mind, but it's hard when we're all trying to shout. We all wanna be heard out. I don't need you to tell me where to go, 'cause I don't wanna know, and that's fine by me. I don't need you to tell me what I should do. Tell me what you would do if you were me. 'Cause this modern world is killing me. This modern world is killing me. And I guess I'm all messed up. Didn't get out of bed today, but I guess we're all messed up. Turn off your phone and get out of bed. I confess I messed this up. Sometimes I lash out 'cause I don't know what to say, and I guess we're all too wrapped up in our own lives to know what we should say. I don't need you to tell me where to go, 'cause I don't wanna know, and that's fine by me. I don't need you to tell me what I should do. Tell me what you would do if you were me. Tell me what you would do if you were me. 'Cause this modern world is killing me. This modern world is killing me.
What song? They're like celebrities are that way. Don't bother when they're eating. Just
Oh,
wait
yeah.
till after.
But the people that do,
Oh.
it's like, oh, please just leave them alone. But we're all guilty of it, especially with celebrities.
Well, that comes with the territory, really, doesn't it?
Mm.
Like, I wouldn't bother someone if
I
who it was
remember
if they were eating.
when we were kids. I remember we were on holiday in like Tenerife, and we walked past this restaurant. We weren't eating there, and fucking Nige Ben, Frank Bruno, sat having breakfast.
Wow, that's a power breakfast
Me-
right there.
Yeah, I know, right? Me nan just like, let's go get some photos of these. So we ended up going, bothering them through the breakfast, got photos with him, shook his hand, like, so I was like 7 or some shit, putting this tiny little hand in Frank Bruno's massive face, and I was like, this is insane.
Have you met many celebrities in your time?
I think that was the only 2.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I haven't met. So I don't really meet any at the cons
No,
because
no.
it's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's a
So-
paid privilege.
It is a paid privilege. So I kind of I've never spent any money at a con to meet anyone, but I have bumped into my one sort of saving grace was the all-time my favourite director, which is Kevin Smith, Silent Bob.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't. Did we talk about that before the mics went on? I can't remember. Anyways,
I think it maybe was.
I can't remember.
I think it was. Yeah.
well, we
before
all should
started.
have wrote that one down, shouldn't we? Anyways, so he started like making movies again, and he made a film called Red State a few years ago, and he, instead of selling it to some big studio
Like
house,
Brothers
he just went, I'll take it out on my own. So he took it out and toured it himself, essentially. He toured it all around the States, and then he brought it over here and took it out, and he essentially played the show at certain venues around the UK, and then did like a Q&A afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So watched the film, it was great. The Q&A was like 10 minutes afterwards, so I was like, I'll just nip to the loo. Went to the toilet, come out, and he's standing there waiting to go back in. And then it was like some other lass had asked him for a picture, and I was like, I'm going to do it. So I walked over, and then I just went, whew. I forgot what words were.
Forgot your name.
Yeah, I forgot everything. And I like fumbled my phone out of my pocket, like opened the camera up, and I just kind of stood there. And like, luckily, his like PA at the time, obviously you've seen this shit before, and just went,
Some trembling idiots.
yeah, and just went, do you want me to take a photo for you? And I was like, so when grabbed the photo, didn't say nothing to him.
Shaking next to him.
Took a photo with him, and then went, thanks, love you, and then walked back in the thing. It was brilliant. But yeah,
Did the photo come out? Do you
photos
look like an idiot on it?
Photos there, of course I do. I look like an idiot in every photo.
A terrified idiot.
Yeah, this is why behind the camera you can't look
Yeah,
like
that's
an
true.
idiot behind it.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
think
funny.
that's my only celebrity
That was
story I've
but
got.
that was kind of like sprung on you. You weren't very prepared for that one, were you?
I wasn't. But yeah, I love that guy.
But it's different. I don't know. It is an awkward situation because it also depends who it is and how famous they are. And
Yeah, 100%.
if it's someone who you like, you know who they are, but you're not that a fan of what they do, but you think, oh, should I get a photo of this person just because it's a famous person? Or
Yeah.
if it's someone like you absolutely love, that's
Well,
different,
that's the
innit?
thing. That's the thing. I remember there's one con. MCM went through this phase a couple of years ago where they were getting in the guy, you know, that Sean guy from Storage Wars,
Oh yeah, the
bald guy.
Yeah.
right? So,
Shabba-dibba-dibba-shabba-dibba.
so they went through this weird phase. I don't know what they were doing at the time, but he was on, and they'd have like the one guy. He looked like Fat Elvis, like Jesse Kid.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the like antagonists of the
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
And they were walking him through the con. He must have been going for a break or whatever, and I give him a fist bump. So that's another one, I
Wow,
suppose.
there you go.
Yeah.
Have you ever met anyone famous?
No one mega famous. I've
Oh.
met a couple of darts players.
Eric Bristow.
Yeah, I met him actually.
That's
Yeah.
about the only one I know. Phil the
just-
Power Taylor. I'm just throwing out names that I know.
No.
Who's that Dutch one who's just retired?
Just retired.
Has he just retired?
Van Barneveld.
I
Has he
don't
just
know.
retired or something? He was on the news for something.
Could have. He's
Oh, yeah.
the only
You're
one I
talking
can
about
think that
darts
would've
right now.
retired.
I'm like listening
I
to a
don't-
foreign language.
No, they're literally the only darts players I've ever heard of. I don't
No,
watch
I've not
darts.
really met any big
Darts.
famous people. I've walked past famous people without knowing them, but
Yeah.
I walked past Nemanja Vidic once.
I checked it out
Football
on Keanu Reeves in Florida a few years ago.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh no! I suppose if we're going down that road, then I went to Disneyland and met like loads of Disney characters. Does that count?
I met Iron Man.
I've got
Pocahontas.
Got
you know.
Buzz Lightyear's signature, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, that's about it. I think. Saw
Thoughts?
Helen Skelton once at town in Mayday. Does that count?
It does round here, I suppose. Yeah. But imagine if, like, have celebrities ever gone dressed up as themselves? And, like,
So there's a few instances.
Yeah,
they do-
Bryan Cranston did it once
Y-
at a Comic Con.
Yeah.
But he had like a rubber mask on of himself in Breaking Bad.
oh, when the
Yeah, so he was walking
hazmat
around.
thing.
Yeah, it was just like a rubber mask of that character
That's brilliant.
in the clothes. And then later on, he went up to the desk at the front for the presentation, and like he took off the mask and it was him, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
I bet there's loads of the crowd going, I was talking to him before, I didn't even realise it was him.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a handful that do it. Yeah, Cranston's one. I think Mark Ruffalo, the guy that plays the Hulk now in the Avengers movies, pretty sure he's done it.
That would be brilliant
Mark
to do
Hamill's done it. Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker, he's been, and there's a guy. He's not I suppose he is kind of in the movie world. There's a guy called Adam Savage, and you'll know him from the show Mythbusters.
Yeah.
He was the little loud one.
Right.
And he's so they used to, him and the guy that were on there, Jamie, they used to work for ILM. So for the prequel Star Wars films, they did a lot of the prop stuff and stuff like that. But he's like a huge nerd, and he builds all these elaborate costumes, and he built a full Chewie Chewbacca hair monster suit. He builds all these, and he does it where he goes out to Comic Cons and he'll make a sort of secret cosplay, and he'll just go and wander about because they can wander about and be everybody else without everybody else knowing who they are. You see, so
They'll find out afterwards and go, fuck's sake.
Mother. Yeah. So there's a few that do it.
Have you got like a bucket list of things that you want to do? Maybe I was going to say photography, but in life.
That's a deep question, isn't it, Mark?
Sometimes we go deep here. Sometimes.
Now.
Have you got?
The plan, what I really want to do this summer, I've got hold of a van, little box van, little Vauxhall Peugeot box van. I don't know much about vehicles. Essentially, what I'm going to do is kit the back out with a bed and a little bit of storage and that, some water and stuff. And I'm going to go and have a look at Europe for a little bit in the summer, hopefully. Hopefully,
That's awesome.
I can pull that off.
That's a good idea.
So there'll be plenty of photos from that trip.
Yeah,
I'm sure there will. And to go to some mad cons in international cons, some cons
and festivals
in
and
Europe. So we did we've done one, and this is a story. This one. So my sister's last year got me a ticket for this Comic-Con cruise.
Right.
So it was based out of Hull, and it was going over to Rotterdam for a con.
That's a cool present.
So yeah, wicked. It was only 90 quid as well. I was like, this is great. So you jump on the cruise ship. It was a ferry essentially.
Yeah.
And then you go over. You spend a day at the con. You get back on the boat for the night, and then you go home.
Yeah.
That's what was supposed to happen, but the Beast from the East turned up, didn't it?
Oh.
So I was supposed to be meeting my mate in Hull on the morning of the departure.
Yeah.
Then the snow all happened. Their car broke. Because of the snow, their car broke. Summit had frozen over and wouldn't come back to life. So I was like, I'm going to have to come and get you, Anna. And they were like, well, you don't have to. I was like, no, I'm going to have to. Because we would been looking forward to this for ages.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the same on your own, would
They
it?
lived in Birmingham.
Oh.
Right? So I had to drive all the way to Birmingham, which is a 3-hour, if you're lucky. But I've got the M6 curse. Every time I'm on that road, I will get delayed regardless. So it ended up being a 5.5-hour trip to their house. But they were covered in snow as well, weren't they?
Oh, no.
So to get from their house to get to the M40 or whatever it was, so we could get across to Hull, instead of being 25 minutes, took us 3 hours.
Oh, my
Because it
God.
was snow. I'm going to be honest, I shouldn't have set off because it was torrential snow.
Yeah.
I should not have been driving. I do apologise, but everything worked out. So we ended up driving to Hull, which then took another 5 hours.
Jesus.
We got a hotel for the night, stayed in Hull, went and had this wicked time on this. It was awesome. We just met loads of people.
Yeah.
But the weird thing was, it was because obviously it was just on a normal ferry though.
Yeah.
So there wasn't just the Comic-Con people going.
Oh, right. You were mixed with all the
there was truckers and just dudes that work in Europe and stuff.
Very
so it was kind of a little bit mad. Yeah, it was a little bit mad, but that was kind of fun. But it was a bit mental.
That sounds awesome.
And we ended up getting pissed on the one night with one of the artists that worked on the first season of the Mighty Boosh.
All right, cool.
Can't remember his name. But yeah, that was
That
pretty
Beast
cool.
from the East, man. That was
I know.
literally a year ago.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It was last Easter.
yeah, it was.
Because I just got a dog, and I was just like thinking,
What?
dogs gonna think like this all the time.
It's not dog. It was.
But,
yeah, that was a mad time.
That caused chaos all over the place.
I
didn't
know,
it? It
right?
just like came from nowhere.
But we just, because it rarely happens that we get that much of it. We're just
Yeah.
like, we don't really need to prepare. Then fuck it, do we?
London get a couple of flakes, and there comes to a standstill.
That's what I mean. And then yeah, you see like videos and photos of that of them like people in Canada and stuff, and they're just like
just live like
plowing
that all the
through, like,
time.
Snow like this
Yeah,
high, and
yeah.
it's like what?
It's the only other place I've ever been where the snowplow got stuck when I was in Canada. It's like, nah, I give up. But we had like it was a few feet of snow, and then the next day the winds came and blew all the snow off the fields into all the. So you got like huge like
There was drifts
snow
everywhere.
dunes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you call them.
Drifts. I think they're
We're
called
just
drifts
walking
or
up and down
dunes.
like this.
Snow
Stood
dunes.
like 6 foot off the ground on top of a pile of snow. Just going, this is amazing.
Yeah, it was it was mad. That was a mad time.
I can't
and
really
then
remember.
and then like this winter's been like the warmest winter anyone's ever had.
But
It's really good and really useful.
do you ever do any video stuff?
I used to, but I haven't really. It'd be something I really want to get back into because I like making videos and that's cool. And I've got a terrible memory, so I'd quite like to like document what I'm doing.
So I
So
can
one day I
remember.
can sit and go, oh man, that was some fun times, wasn't it? Because like in my head, I'm like, I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone like
Because you've got a drone.
I have got a drone.
Because
Yeah,
I've been to a wedding that you did, and I was like, oh, he's got a drone.
yeah. So the
That was-
drone.
I don't think I ever saw the photo that you did of the whole, all of us. Obviously, you sent the drone up, didn't you? And in the big building, you were at the top looking down. I was like, I want
Yeah.
to see. I can't wait to see these photos.
I'll show you them later. I've got them.
Yeah.
The drone. I went mad one year, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy a drone because it looked really cool. Well, I used to watch a lot of a guy called Casey Neistat on YouTube. Like he makes these amazing like cinematic like fucking masterpieces, but he's like there
Yeah.
shooting like New York with these drones.
Yeah, I've
and
been
that.
watching all these 4K drone.
Yeah.
footage
And so I
on
was
my
like,
TV.
I'm gonna just buy one, even though I'm rubbish and don't know what I'm doing with it. So I bought one, and I've had a bit of a play with it, and I'd love to use it to shoot like cosplayers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you can't really do it at events because there's
No.
big rules, and especially with what happened last year now? Was it this year? With what happened at Gatwick with the whole
Oh yeah.
this kind
Do
of
you have to have a license to use it?
so you have to use it commercially. But
Right.
you can use it without a license. So I think, well, there's a new guidelines at the minute where you need to sign up to some agreement thing.
It's like
I've done it.
GDPR or something. Just
Yeah,
basically say,
something to say
Yeah.
that you've essentially joined a register for them. But you can just grab one and go out there. But like the beauty, like you could go do it round here. I'm pointing as if anyone can see anything. around here. You could go do it in the
fields.
in the field, in the hills, over the lakes and stuff. It's not a problem. But you've got to be careful because you can't be within like 50 meters of a road or buildings
right.
so there's loads of restrictions on it, and especially when there's groups of people. You can't be like flying over groups of people because I don't want injuries and stuff like that. And I mean, some of these drones, you ain't gonna get it because they're more intelligent than I will ever be. They're like, the one I've got, like, if it loses signal with the receiver, the handset, it just goes, all right then, I'll just come back to where we started, it's fine. And it just comes and lands itself, and it's like, it's wicked stuff. So
That's
yeah.
a certain price range for that feature.
Oh yeah.
I
Wasn't
was
it?
going to say, I flew over people today.
I saw that. I was like, what's happening? Firstly, I need to ask, did you eat all 9 sausages?
No, there was a few of us.
Right, that's fine.
I ate half of them, I think, in the end.
And secondly, how did you end up in a plane over Cumbria this morning?
Oh, it was a present I got a while ago.
That's
And I just had to
wicked.
book a date to book a flying lesson. So I actually flew a plane.
Did you fly it?
Yeah, I was
Right,
flying it.
So I've done this, but I've done it in a helicopter. I got one
Oh,
as
that
a
would be
gift
cool.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Right, so yeah,
You can't talk and fly. I can't talk and fly. People were talking to me as I'm flying. I'm going, I wasn't listening. I was ignoring them because it's you have to concentrate so hard.
So I'm like, oh, you're all gonna die if I do this
Well,
wrong.
like we took because he was joking that I was gonna you're gonna take off, and I was like, yeah, and he didn't say anything, so I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
But then we were hurtling down the runway, and he goes, oh, over to you. And I'm like, ah! So I just pulled back because he did tell me how to do it before. And
Yeah.
luckily, I was paying attention, so I just pulled back, and we it was only a small plane. We just were off, and I was like, oh my god! And it started shaking. But then you sort of get used to it. Then he took over a bit. But then it's when you get a bit. We got like down here, which was about 20 miles. Then the wind starts. You start getting pockets of wind hitting. You're like, oh shit! Oh my god! I can't. And I was like sweating, even though it was like 3 degrees. I'm like, oh my god! People are like laughing and joking, and I'm like, I'm not listening to any of this shit.
I'm
I'm
glad you're
like,
not having a good time.
oh, God. But then he took over because he said, have a look around because you're flying over your hometown in your own area. You want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's when I started taking loads of photos and that.
Yeah,
But
no, I saw that.
Oh,
one.
God,
I was
it
like,
was
that's
awesome.
wicked. Yeah, so I got one a few years ago. I got a gift, and it was for a helicopter lesson. It was terrifying. It got in there, I wasn't allowed to take off because helicopters.
That's a bit
way
more
different story.
Yeah.
So in this
You
one,
take off and you go,
yeah, in this one, you've got 2 foot pedals
yeah,
to do this with.
yeah.
Right, you've got like a handbrake, but the handbrake's to go up and down.
Yeah, it
to
keeps
the
you
elevation.
on keeps you on the ground. Yeah.
And then you've got this other little stick that was for tilting backwards
Yeah.
and forwards, but you have to balance all 3 of them at the
same time.
There was no autopilot in this helicopter.
Oh my God.
He gave me the stick, and I kid you not, the helicopter just went from that to that.
From
and I
flat to
was up.
vertical.
Yeah, but obviously he did this. He must do this a lot, obviously, because he's teaching people that don't know what they're doing how to do it. So he obviously did it from 20 feet. So he was like, I'll survive that. It's like, no. And then as soon as I did that, I was about 1.5 inches off the fucking floor, wasn't I? And nearly killed me and this poor dude who puts his life on the line every time he's taken folk out with. Yeah, it was terrifying, but wicked.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
hate
it was.
heights, but it was wicked.
I don't mind heights, but yeah, it was intense.
Ah,
We're on the runway. You turn with your pedals. You press the left, and it goes left. You press the right pedal, it goes right. Like the steering wheel thing was useless on the ground.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're in the air, you take off the feet and you're on the throttle thing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. It
But
is
like,
really cool.
obviously,
but-
where we live, we're lucky, really. I was
well,
like,
that's the thing.
This is amazing.
This is what I've always wondered why we don't have a bigger tourist thing for helicopter flights and stuff over the lakes and stuff like
I
that.
mean, we have the hot air balloons and that.
Yeah, there's loads of hot air balloons and that, but obviously it would be a great place. If someone had a load of money to go, tell you what we'll do helicopter tours over the lakes and stuff. It'd be
That's
wicked.
amazing. The only other thing is Cumbria is a Air Force training ground.
That was the
You know, it's
thing.
every other day, some jets come past and they go, because if they crash, it's only Cumbria, it'll be fine.
Well,
There's nothing to crash into.
That must be the attitude.
Whoa, you joke, it happened, remember?
Yeah.
A few years ago. So, that's the other thing is they use Cumbria as, a training
It's a big open
area.
wide space.
Yeah, there's nobody here.
No, it's just sheep.
There's nobody here. If the guy's lucky, he lands in the water and he
Yeah.
can swim, so it's fine. They don't. But yeah, so my day job, I work in forestry. So we were out last year, planting trees up at Malastang, which is some hills over in southern Cumbria. And we were up there every day, and the big AC-130s, remember from Call of Duty?
Yeah.
That's how we all know our
Yes,
military
yes.
vehicles. Was
And,
from Call of
and our
Duty.
weapons.
Yeah. We stood on the top of this fell, higher than, because they obviously do a lot of low flying stuff, and they're coming through the valley, and you can see the top of the aircraft.
Yeah, I've had that.
The scariest one was 4 of the Apaches came over one day, didn't hear nothing, and then turn around, and then all of a sudden they're just over you, stalking you like a terrifying metal bird. It's Jesus, this is terrifying. So yeah, them things are insane.
If any of our international people listening, I recommend you just Google Cumbria in the Lake District now, and you'll see what we're talking
We're
about.
UNESCO now. We've got one of those UNESCO badges.
Oh,
don't we?
one of the, not quite the wonders of the world, but
Yeah,
one of
it's
those
it's
places
like
of
Aldi's
interest.
version. of
Costco.
sorry, Aldi.
No, but it's
Yeah.
rightly so. There was a big hoo-ha about that because people saying, "Hey, but loads of people come and they'll destroy the Lake District." But You need tourism.
Yeah, 100% we do.
Need it.
There's a-
Do you think China? Like, we need to. Less people need to come to this wall. It's going to fall down. It's like, shut up,
we got Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall. Yeah,
It's not quite as impressive though, is it?
but we do have the history here. You know, that's
I mean, yeah.
people from America going, wow, they've got history here.
That's
Goes
true.
back more than 100 years.
I know, right?
Real castles that are made of stone, not
There's-
plastic.
My first car was older than America is, I think.
Yeah. What was Eddie's dad said? Those American restorations, like, they can't believe they go, we've restored this to what it was like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, nobody was alive then. Surely not.
Yeah, it is mad.
But there's so much like history that like it's overwhelming sometimes when you think what would this place have been like 200 years ago?
Oh,
Completely
mad.
different.
100%.
Things that make me think like that is when there's a power cut
Yeah.
and you just go,
Everything I own.
I
is
don't know
useless.
how to live now. I'm like just sat here like, I no, I need power for that. No, I need power for that. I don't know what to do.
No.
Sat here, I'm a terrible human.
I know, right? But I feel like we are. We've created our own, like, the modern cave is our home.
Digital cave. Is what it is.
Yeah, it's like the digital fucking era that we're in, and everything is
This is
just
definitely
connected.
digital age. Yeah.
And without it,
But we've become dependent
like,
on it.
what do we do now?
We've become completely dependent on it.
100%.
Like, how often do you see kids playing out in the street? Like, it's not like it used. Like, it used to be all the time.
Yeah. The amount of time we'd go out and play like we'd play like massive games of like like we didn't call it hide and seek. We had a cooler name for it when we were playing, but we'd do it over the whole town. So
Right,
we'd go
okay.
out and like there'd be like 15 of us, and we'd go off.
Yeah.
And like 2 would be the seekers, and the rest of us would just go hide all over town. It was like mad.
Yeah, I think we used to call it fox and hounds. We used to call
I
it.
think that might be the one. That
And
might
if you
be the
found
one.
someone, they then became your
Yeah,
team.
yeah, and then they
flocked
were
for
on
the
your
rest.
team.
Yeah.
And you just go hunt for
Well, if it's too
everybody.
big an area, it'll take fucking ages to find him.
well, this
Some
was
people
the
should never be
thing.
found.
This was the thing.
Where
we
were you?
start like a missing persons campaign. We can't find him.
we didn't have mobile phones. So
No.
You literally knew when nobody was.
No.
It was mad, and now no. Like
going to
kids
the
out
end of
there
the
have got-
street to use a payphone for
Yeah.
legitimate reason. Now, if someone uses a payphone, you're like, what's he do? Why is he not? Or it's not a phone; it's a fucking defibrillator.
Well, that's true. Yeah, don't put one of them to your ear. Whatever you do, like zap your head. Like, but that's the thing. And most kids, like, you see them all. They're sat, and they'll be sat in like the pub having food with the parents, or whatever, and they've all got like £1,500 iPhones.
I
And
know
it's
crazy.
like madness.
And they're constantly like on it.
yeah.
I call it
we
like
we had a 50p floaty football. That's
I
what
know,
we had
I
to
know.
play with. We were
I haven't
kids.
got kids, so my opinion means nothing. But I call it lazy parenting when like the kids like, rah, but then put something in front of them, like a phone or a tablet. Silence.
Yeah.
like-
I haven't got kids either, so
No,
I
that's just
I
my
can't
opinion.
talk on this topic, but I'm 100% with you.
You see it all the time. Sometimes you see like the entire family doing it.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
why have you come out?
We've
Why?
100% like lost the art of just like sitting and having a conversation
Like this.
Yeah, like it's a dying art
That's
form.
what it is.
because-
That's why I used to like going to the pub with your mates
This-
before phones and before all that.
yeah,
It
100%.
never
like,
happens now.
Pubs were like a huge community like hub, and it would be where you'd go, you'd meet your mate if he'd come off his holiday to find out all about his holiday. But now you've already seen because he's posted himself on the plane on Instagram.
Well, this is
And
how
it's
old I
like-
am. When I went traveling in 2003-4,
You had to walk.
we had to we had to buy disposable cameras.
yeah.
Send the film. We didn't get them developed. Just sent the negatives home,
Yeah.
and then in a year and a half,
I love it.
then just this is what we did.
I love
None
it.
of these came out,
Yeah.
but in a way that was really good. But like now it's just like instant, everything instant.
Yeah.
It's a different
Oh
world.
yeah. It all happens
But as
instantly.
photography will have changed because now you can delete stuff and just take another one.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's people do say that it's kind of it's a lot easier these days because it's all digital and because you've got you haven't
burst mode.
Well, yeah, but you haven't just got like 32 shots on one roll of film.
Rolls of film.
You've got
there's a thing as well. It's like,
you've
like
got
what?
like hundreds of images you can store on a massive memory card in your camera, and
Yeah.
if they're crap, just delete them and move on. And
Take 100 in a row, and you'll get some good ones out of there.
The beauty of it is, if something comes out, the photo's too light or too dark, you've always got the option to just jump into Photoshop and just.
Oh, this is the other thing I was going to talk about. Is like photographers now have to become these expert like software.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there's still, there's still the old horses out there that deal in film and stuff like that. But I've never shot in film, so I don't know. I don't know that side of it, and everything I know and I've ever learned, I just self-taught myself. I went to YouTube, like everybody should just do, and you just figure stuff out.
So you never had any like actual photography lessons?
Nah, I just went to YouTube, read a couple of books, and was like, okay, these are the sort of the rough ideas, and then you just
YouTube's brilliant.
It's like my favorite place
everything,
to be.
like before I got the first smart speaker, I was like, well, which one should I get? Like, let's. There must be a video, someone comparing the two of them. What can this one do? What can that one do? Or a phone, if you choose anything you can think of, someone's done it.
I guarantee you, if you ever run into any problem in your life, just go to YouTube. Someone will be talking about it.
Who are these people on like social media now? But does anyone know how to just fucking Google it? It's just like what are you asking us for?
So I've got many pet peeves in my life. One's when you go to like public toilets or like bathrooms in restaurants, hotels, wherever, and you go and use the hand dryer and it's really crap and it barely does anything. It's just like a little wisp of wind.
Or people who don't wash their hands in general.
Yeah, that really bugs me. The other thing is folk that instead of just typing it into Google,
type it into Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Half of it must be an attention thing. They want some.
I mean, it has to be, right? Because.
Like,
no way.
You know the answers are out there. You don't need to ask like Dave in Doncaster. He's not going to know how to.
I know, right? You love this Dave in Doncaster. It's like, it's got to be.
There's like there was a word for that. Like when you're self-learning all the time. Autodidact.
Wow,
that's the word.
Wow,
someone who is self-teaching. But that's
I mean, that's everybody.
Well, it should be.
You want to be like that.
But you make a habit of like learning stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm still a big dummy, but like 10 years ago, I was an even bigger dummy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Everyone should be smarter now because of that.
Yeah, 100%. The fact that when we were kids, the knowledge you knew was what your mates taught you, what you learned at school, and if you read some books and stuff, then brilliant. Yeah. But now, like, I don't know, it's weird. You don't need to. You should learn it, but you don't need to because you've got every piece of everything that's ever existed to gain knowledge from is on your phone. It's insane.
It almost puts like the school learning into question of like who decides what you learn in school when like outside of school they can learn anything they want.
They should be teaching kids about mortgages and money and stuff.
I was just going to say that. Like I didn't know what a mortgage was. I didn't know how credit cards worked.
No,
I didn't know about interest rates or just basic life stuff.
100%.
Like even like you should teach how do you change a tire?
That would be pretty useful.
I'm not gonna lie. Not the fucking angles of a protractor and a fucking pi and all that stuff. When are you going to use that?
I don't think I've ever used it.
Who decides what you should learn and what you shouldn't learn?
I don't know, but I feel like we need to rethink it because I feel like
let's do it now. Let's.
I don't think we're the guys that can do this.
Let's write a new curriculum right now.
I don't think it's us that should be doing this.
I'll write the curriculum. Google. There you go.
Well, 100%. I feel like the world, especially the digital world, which is everything that's connected to the internet, essentially, it moves at such a fast pace.
Yeah.
That stuff needs to change.
Because I can imagine kids in school, like a teacher says something like this is this, and they might go, no, there's a different way of doing that. You don't have to do it that way, like because they've learned it from somewhere else.
Some dude on YouTube taught them how to do it.
That's
why.
Not the way. That isn't the only way.
Nah, 100%. Like I don't know. YouTube's been great for me for just like figuring stuff out. Like when it comes to Photoshop and stuff like that, you just go to YouTube and figure out how to do it, and then you just start playing away, and then you figure bits out yourself, and then you just go from there. And if you ever get stuck, just throw it back to YouTube.
Yeah, like it's amazing how those unboxing things have become massive. Like,
Amazing.
I can't believe the views on
I know, right?
someone unboxing. Like I saw one for the Amazon Alexa
Yeah.
unboxing the latest one.
Yeah.
It's like 43 million views. I'm like,
Yeah.
bloody hell!
And it's just literally like a pack of Pringles in a box.
Just like, I'm watching a guy open a box.
Yeah, it's insane. The ones that get me at the minute, they were popular like maybe like 6 months ago. Is the folk buying the like cheap like bulk boxes from like Amazon Returns.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until
No.
I came across.
And then
So what is it?
so that you go to like a liquidation company and they'll have like all the Amazon like returns that have either returned because they didn't want it,
Yeah.
or it'd be like faulty, or,
Or
it'd be
sent in error
warehouse
or something
faulty,
like
or
that,
like
yeah.
the packaging might be a bit broken, so
People
they'll
have sent it
essentially
back.
get rid of it.
Right.
But folk buy them and spend like, I don't know, like £1,000 on like 6 boxes, and then you can just get like loads of random.
They don't know what's in
tat
them, do they?
there. Yeah, it's really weird, but and then folk are just opening
What, are
it.
they going to be like faulty items? and
So
stuff?
some of them
Yeah.
can be.
See that really confused face you're making right now? That
Yeah.
was me the other day
Yeah,
when I came across
it's,
this.
it's weird. I don't understand it.
Well-
I think the idea is the Holy Grail piece. Is
Someone might get some really
someone
gem
will get
expensive-
something that is really expensive, and there's just like a tear on the packaging, and then they get like this like
It's like a really weird storage wars.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, oh, man, what's in this box?
Yeah, but they do
Yeah.
actually get to see what's in there before they buy it. But you just get a random box and anything could be in it.
That's a weird.
But
weird thing.
people watch everything these days. Like how popular is like Twitch for like people watching play games?
I know, right? It's
That's
mad.
like millions upon billions of people
Mad.
doing it. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
watching someone play a computer
The
game.
amount of people, the ability, especially with the new consoles that come out, to give like so.
Oh, you can do it
people-
straight from the console, can't
Yeah,
you?
so people have been streaming for years, but obviously
That's usually PC games.
Yeah, you needed to know what you were doing. Essentially, you needed to have like software to be able to capture it and then upload it and
Professional
stream it
camera
live
on a
and stuff like
tripod
that.
and all
yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
Whereas now, like you can stream from your PlayStation, your Xbox. You can go straight to like Twitch with it
Yeah, live
instantly
as you're playing.
as you're playing along, and like that's just it's fascinating.
People make a living because you can.
Oh, yeah,
people can
100%.
give you money whilst you're playing.
Yeah, so
It's just like-
you build up followers, and then you start getting like people donate and give you tips and stuff like that, and then
yeah, tips.
when
That was
you-
what they call it. Tips. Yeah.
when you can start getting subscribers and stuff like that, it just goes crazy.
People can make money from that.
Oh yeah, there's so many
It's
people out there
like-
that make a living from that, doing that.
Yeah.
It's insane. I think it's brilliant
Well,
because-
yeah.
because who out there has been ever asked the question, "What do you want to do when you get older?" Like everybody asks that
I want
question.
to play games for a
And
living.
like everyone, you always had to be, everyone was always quite sensible and reserved
Mm-hmm.
with it because you didn't want to be like judged or whatever. Now, literally, you could do whatever you want if you can make money by playing video games. Then power to you, man.
Well, I think that's maybe something that's come from all the social media and the
100%.
being able to look stuff up.
It's
and
a great.
opens up more doors to possibilities that
Mm.
if you just went to school and listened to one careers advisor,
Yeah, man.
said, "I think you should be an accountant."
Well, yeah, you don't want to be stuck in some office all day. You can play 5 hours of video games and make more than that guy makes in a year. Like some of them are insane amount of like the subscribers they get.
Yeah.
So I think on Twitch it's like a $5 to subscribe,
yeah.
and Twitch the website take like $2.50, and then the streamer gets the other $2.50.
Yeah.
And some of them have, you get I don't know 100 subscribers. It's a good
That's
little
enough.
bit of cash
That's
every
enough.
month, innit?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you just snowball from there, and you start doing it. And some of these people have made millions from just playing video games.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
noticed
It's insane.
YouTube's clamped down a bit on. They've upped the sort of how many subscribers you need and how many hours. I think you need at least
Yeah.
1,000 subscribers,
And
you
it
need
was
4,000.
4,000?
No, 400 hours a year.
Is that what it
400
was? I thought it
hours.
was like 4,000.
I think it's only 400 hours.
Something like
That's
that.
still a lot of
Yeah,
hours.
It was a whole lot of hours.
But it goes hand in hand because as your subscribers go up, so does your watch time. And if you're putting a lot of content out,
Yeah, and I think you've got to think about it like you've got to kind of work the financial side of it
Yeah.
out yourself and get
Yeah.
your own like promotions and ads in there, because like especially with the whole like YouTube thing last year,
it's not that easy.
there's a lot of folk and like they're now giving the ad people like the power to say who they want to
Oh yeah.
share ads to and stuff like that, and there was loads of drama like last year with it
There's
all.
another story. Did you hear about people can claim copyright on videos,
Oh yeah.
even if it's not
Yep.
copyrighted, and
Yep.
that automatically. I don't know if they change it all the time, but automatically you get a strike against your name, and they might take it down,
Yep.
even though you own it, just
Yep.
because someone said they own it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really difficult to prove that you own it and
Yeah.
get it back up.
It's insane.
is-
It's a difficult one. It's like it is the double-edged sword, really, isn't it? Because you want the openness and the freedom
Yeah.
for people to talk about what they want and kind of do what they want online. But then there's
It should be on the onus of the person claiming copyright to prove that you own copyright before we'll do
100%,
anything.
Definitely.
They just as soon as someone claims,
Yeah.
well, we're taking it down. 'cause
And you only
someone's
get
gonna claim.
you only get like 3 of them, and then that's it. Your
3
channel's
strikes and you're out.
gone.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's a
You must actually. I think when you get to a certain level, you must like if you're quite successful, I reckon you can sort of prove you've already proved that you own your shit. So if anyone,
yeah. I would have thought so.
you
But
can
like, I
imagine
don't
if
know
someone
how it
said that to
works
Joe
because
Rogan, they're going to take his videos down.
well, they used to yeah, but they're terrified of it all the time, aren't they? Because
Well, they don't put
it's always
anything
like
up, do they?
Jamie, don't put it up, don't put it up.
yeah.
So like